Welcome back to Brand Champions. I'm Howard Wolpoff, your host. This is brought to you by Teal of the Agency. And I'm excited for our conversation today because we have with us someone who really is someone very notable in the industry, has worked a very long time and really has accomplished a lot. His name is Hernan Tagliani from Tagliani Multicultural. And welcome to our conversation, Hernan.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you because this is something that call it mainstream America doesn't really focus on when it comes to marketing, and it's there because there are many different types of people in the country who absorb messages and have dollars to spend, and you focus a lot on the Spanish community and the different types of programming and opportunities to get that message out. How important is it that companies are utilizing your services and these types of mediums to really focus on what want to achieve on a revenue basis?
Well, it is very important, especially in the climate that we're living today. At the present time, mainstream is multicultural. It is estimated that 44% of consumers in the United States are multicultural, and by 2027, that number will jump to 47%. So if you are a business owner or you are a marketing executive or CEO at a large corporation, it is important to start questioning yourself where the growth is coming. And the growth is coming from multicultural consumers driven by U.S. Hispanic growth. So if you really want to assure sustainable growth, definitely within multicultural consumers, Hispanics is the strongest and very influential audience within that segment. So it's a market that corporations and brands cannot neglect any longer. At the present time, 68% of the Hispanic community are part of middle to upper class, 11% are affluent, and 80% of the U.S. Hispanic community are Americans. So they are used.
Now, I've started to see some Spanish commercials on network television. Not a lot, but I've seen them here and there. How often are you coming across executives who this is kind of foreign thought to them of expanding into Spanish commercials and billboards and really focusing on these different demographics?
Definitely something that I see more and more brands taking into consideration. Some of them is part of the overall strategy, long-term growth strategy. And some of them, they just try to get their foot wet and start with a specific campaign throughout the year. The reality is that as we are becoming multicultural and mainstream, the overall strategy should be part of your arch strategy, marketing strategy moving forward, because that's where the growth is coming. When you take a look at what percentage of marketing dollars are allocated to multicultural consumers, in particular U.S. Hispanics, the numbers are still not quite there. They're spending an overall between 7 to 9% of the overall marketing budget to Hispanic outreach. So there's a big discrepancy there. And but as I said before, as we are going through consumer evolution, in particular with millennials and Gen Zs, that more than 50% are multicultural. So a lot of brands are starting to wake up and start making adjustments on the overall strategy. At the end of the day, it's not about spending more marketing dollars, it's reallocating your marketing dollars on those consumers and areas of growth moving forward.
Now that makes a whole lot of sense for the bigger picture for these companies. Now, when you're working with a company that is really starting to expand their multicultural marketing, are they looking at a commercial and saying just translate it and get different actors, or are they coming up with a similar but different concept for that type of messaging?
That's a really good question. Well, we have seen some of the challenges that brands are facing when reaching other audiences, in particular Hispanics, is they see it on a language standpoint. So that's why it's the translation aspect. But, at the end of the day, there are more than 20 different nationalities that speak Spanish. So we have different language variations. In English, we call slang. So So translations do not work. What it works is transcreations, is what we do at the agency, which basically is create a communication campaign appealing to, in this case, the Latino core values, respecting the overall strategy coming from the general market, supported by data. So culture is more important than language at time of execution, and that's what we see sometimes brands they do wrong, and they spend quite a significant amount of money and they don't see the return on investment by translating. Basically, you're forcing a strategy from the beginning and a campaign that was never, upon intended, to reach other audiences besides Caucasian consumers. So by translating, you're keeping your finger crossed and praying that that campaign will resonate to other audiences, and that's when you don't see the results that you're looking for. So it's like saying Australians and Americans are the same because they both speak English, right? So adjustments on the marketing execution and campaign needs to be done in order for that campaign to resonate to the audiences. So that's why it's not about translation; it's about transcreation. It's about having the right campaign that truly appeals to the cultural nuances and speak in a very powerful, emotional connection way of these audiences. That's when you're going to see the return on investment and the growth and loyalty that every brand is looking for.
Well, it's great that there are experts like you to guide these companies in the right direction, to make the right decisions, and to translate slang in the correct ways to make sure that the focuses of these campaigns are really hitting the mark. So Hernan, thank you so much for joining us today, and really thank you for everything that you're doing to really grow marketing in this country.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really enjoyed speaking with you, and thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining us as well. It is very important to really have a full picture of who your target audience is and how to speak their language to make sure that they're hearing your message properly. It's a lot, many companies have spent dollars in the multicultural markets, and many have not, and those are the ones that really need to see this as the opportunity for growth that it can be. Reach out to Hernan for really some great answers, if not really great direction how to really grow your campaigns. But go out, have a great rest of today, and we'll see you next time.